So this is Fort Joy.
The delivery. Surely
What a crumbling disaster.
Is that thing eating corpses?
Save your spirit to fight the Reaper.
Just as you're about to address the lizard, the Red Prince bars you with an outstretched arm.
This man is a dreamer. As you know, I need a word with him. You may wait here while I speak. Permission indeed.
He bids the dreamer stand up and pay attention, which he does in a grovelling and awkward manner. The dreamer then chews and swallows a handful of Drudenay leaves before slipping into a trance-like state. He falls asleep. To your surprise, the Red Prince lies down and follows suit. After about half an hour, they wake up and begin to discuss what they saw in their dreams. The Red Prince pinches the bridge of his nose in apparent irritation before turning his back on the jabbering dreamer. You receive a withering glance in response.
A deserved bit of sarcasm, I suppose. But though this stingtail fellow may be a less than stellar specimen in the firmament of dreamers, the dreams themselves prove to be quite elucidating. Turns out I'm being hunted by an enemy I didn't know actually existed. The myth-shrouded House of Shadows. The dreamers, though, they're on my side. And they've visions of me on the throne. Of course it is. I was born with the promise of an empire, and that promise will be kept. But to keep it, I must find a second dreamer. A greater one. A more experienced traveler of the dream world. Bahara is her name, and she resides in the swamplands east of the fort. So, let us make our escape and venture there post-haste.
You know, I could tell you all about swamp dreamers too if I chewed that much Drudenay.
Oh, do hold your prickly tongue.
Amid the squalor of Fort Joy, you suddenly spot an elf with diamond features, regal and radiant, but cold too, and sharper than any knife. She was among the sorcerers with whom you fought the Voidwoken down in the hold of the sinking ship. Her eyes are focused on a lizard some distance away, and you get the distinct feeling he's an unfortunate man indeed to be trapped in her tiger-like gaze. No sooner have these words left your mouth than she turns about and grabs you in a stranglehold. You feel the tip of a long needle being pushed a little ways into one of your neck's vertebrae.
You caught me off guard. No one catches me off guard. Who are you? There is no other elf like me.
A push, a pivot, and now you suddenly face her, the needle still all too deeply embedded in bone. Despite the precariousness of your situation, you notice a flaw in her diamond features, a curiously shaped scar on her left cheek.
Let me tell you a little story. Once upon a bad old time, a lizard cut this thing, this living scar, into my cheek. The mark of a slave. But now I'm free, of sorts. And I've traced that lizard here, to Fort Joy. I intend to raise the subject with him.
She drives the needle in deeper and whispers.
In truth, it does not matter in the least who you really are. You saw me mark my prey. You could warn him, save him, or kill him before I get my chance. That makes you a liability. That makes you needle feed.
A bright sparkle of laughter follows your proposal.
Ha! How amusing. I admit I had not seen that twist coming. I was certain the pitiful begging was about to begin. Make your case and do it quickly. Why should I join you? Escape? How you do tickle me. Most of the misguided deers around here would argue such a thing is impossible. Well played. Oh, little needle mine, what should I do? Push or pull? The agony of choice. You know what? Today is a rather fine day. Sunshine and an easy breeze. Yes, I'll let you live. I'll even agree to travel with you, provided we talk to that lizard I mentioned. I'm not quite sure the weather will save him.
With a casual flick of the wrist, she withdraws the needle from your neck and smiles, as if she just invited you to sit down for tea.
Yes, the needle did find you rather tough to chew. Nothing it can't handle, though, nor finish. This may strike you as, rather eccentric, but the thought of traveling with one such as yourself quite enthuses me.
She tilts her head ever so slightly and looks at you almost mockingly.
Yes, this will be jolly good fun. Let's discuss our respective roles then, shall we? You, me, and Death will be playing many a round of hide and seek. So, what role would you like me to play? As a rogue, my speciality is stealth, the quick silence of the dagger striking unseen. That said, I'm perfectly lethal wielding any weapon or magic. So, the choice is yours. Suits me fine. Lead on, then follow me.
You're not quite certain you'll ever sleep soundly with Sabine in any sort of proximity, but at least she's on your side, for the moment. As you're about to approach the lizard, Sabine cups your chin between thumb and index finger, then guides your eyes to hers.
Listen, I need to have a chat with this here morsel of flesh. He has wronged me once, but may just do right by me this time.
To your surprise, Sabine proceeds to throttle the unsuspecting lizard with one hand as she drives the tip of her needle into his lower belly with the other. Then the questions commence. you hear him yelp about the Master, lone wolves, and a man called Griff. Then, quite suddenly, there's blood everywhere as Stingtail falls to the ground, face first into his own intestines. Sabine heaves a sigh of satisfaction, and as she wipes her needle clean, shoots you a cursory look.
Chat's over.
Demon elf, how dare you strike down a dreamer?
Such is my prerogative, Prince. And doubly so, my pleasure. Something on your mind? It's simple. He scarred me, so I scarred him. Extensively.
She defies you with devilishly innocent eyes.
Can you blame me? There it is. I was wondering when your spying would make an appearance. Anyway, what's dead is done, so let's move on, shall we? The search for the Master continues, of course. Hungry work, the hunt. And you know what? I'm feeling a bit peckish. Stingtail mentioned a cook, as it happens. Fellow named Griff. 2 birds, 1 stone. How about it?
Everything there? Good.
Sabine gently places a hand on the small of your bag. Her mouth reaches your ear with a whisper.
Let me have a word with the gentleman, would you? I've a little clue to follow up on.
Sabine steps forward and asks Griff the cook about the lone wolves. A dead little birdie told her he's the man to talk to. A little back and forth ensues. Money crosses hands, and before you know it, Sabine stands back beside you, all smiles.
Thank you. We should make good on our escape, you know. I have to see a man about a wolf in the hollow marshes. Naught but a whelp in skillful hands, I'm sure. Zalaskar's his name. A name for the taking, if it comes.
Griff is slowly, methodically peeling the skin from a potato. As you approach, he looks up, setting the potato, but not the sharp little knife, down on the table.
What? Who's asking?
You forget my name, eh? Got it.
He smirks and holds the little knife up to the light, watching it glint.
I'm listening. Sure, have a look. Good stuff, huh? Ain't fit for beasts.
Yes, by all means, let us partake in the art. I intend to rule an empire one day, not a tiny outcropping in the sea, lording over gulls and guppy fish. To that end, I suggest we focus on the obvious. A farewell to Fort Joy and a hello to the mainland. Of course, I'd much appreciate it if we managed to find Bahara first.
Is it not enough that you travel? Go on then, bark. Well, I thought a brief swim in the sea, lying in the sun for a while, and maybe read a nice book. Or perhaps, and this is just a thought, we could find my mask and escape this wretched island.
creature heaves through lips gummed with human gore. It turns to you with great effort, pain apparent in every movement, and madness screams from its wide, bloodshot eyes.
You. Quite lost. Quite lost. Careful, or they'll cross your wires. Now, a little query. Where grows the yarrow? Quickly now, for I haven't much time. Now, or didn't you hear me? Where grows the yarrow? Dire, and where does the yarrow grow? Where?
I've got that special shipment you was asking after.
Got it.
Easy, eh?
She's much better off.
Say he likes it thick and long. Combs it out all dilly-eyed.
You there. You've just arrived, isn't that right? Are you...
Sweetheart?
She's gone, Father. Gone.
I never want to set foot on a stuffy old boat ever again. Never. Voidwoken. Those are the same beasts that sank our ship. Damn, they made it to shore.
Glory is mine! Into the dark with you!
Drowned and eaten by a Voidwoken. I wonder in which order.
Stare at the slain beasts and comment that they must have been the cause of the shipwreck.
They didn't put up much of a fight. Dry land mustn't suit them.
I never feel good after having slain a beast, even a bloodthirsty one.
Good riddance.
The great Brachus Rex looks to the horizon. The old king responds. He vibrates. You feel the power come to you. The world darkens and fades. An odd-looking young woman is staring intently at the statue to the divine, fingers curled rigidly at her sides. Greyish, her head snaps to you mechanically, and her eyes lock with yours, dark pupils dilated into great black voids. Light suddenly flashes back into her face. The grey veins drain to pinkish flesh, and her whole body relaxes.
Hi, who are you? Some lady? Ah, it's nothing really. It's just... I'm just a bit... well, a bit... hospitable? Put it like this. You've never been a host, I bet. That's because you're an infested clump of leaves on the side of the road. That ain't bad, though. I'd give just about anything to be like you. But I'm a roadside inn. Red door, flowers out front, friendly lady at the door beckoning you in for half price. Like a goddamn gold star inn for the disembodied. Now, isn't that just the question of the hour? I can't be sure just yet. I'll be surprised if it's a demon. Definitely not a sprite either. Maybe a spectre, but I wouldn't bet money on it. So, how are you enjoying the joy? Yeah? I was just thinking the same sort of thing. So, you want to check this place out together? Strength in numbers and all that. Sure, whatever suits you. Anyway, see you around.
I saw what you did there, convincing Burrow not to lay down the law on that elf. Your kind stick together like stink on garbage, don't you? Out of my sight.
Who in their right mind would think of a thing like this?
As you approach the blacksmith, you feel a bony hand on your arm. Fane leans in and whispers in your ear.
If it would be acceptable, I have an inquiry for this human. It is, and if it would not be acceptable, well, that would render this entire conversation rather awkward.
Fane approaches the blacksmith and quietly speaks to her. You can't overhear much, but he seems to be gesturing towards her head an awful lot. You lean in to see if you can make out anything else. You've heard about such devices. The first step in making a shape-shifting mask.
What is it with creeps like you and Master Niles? I told him to slither back to his dungeon, and you can get too, freak!
Fane backs away, scratching his head. It seems that didn't go as he'd expected. He...
Dallas, you maniac. Where's the oil?
Say, do all lizards smell like oranges, or is it just that crazy fella with the pointy tail?
Yourself to the grave.
little reprieve from the din outside.
I'll stab you right in the eye! Thank you for your help with that, thug. Our kind of few here. We must help each other.
The elf appears momentarily puzzled by your comment, but then offers you a dignified little bow.
As far as I'm concerned, you are noble and just in both actions and appearance. I am in your debt. I hear of no escapes. The only way out is through the Magisters, through their cure. Thugs I can stand, but I fear the Magisters. In this cave, we trust the healer. She is young, but she sees. She knows more than we know. In the camp, the brute Griff rules. He who gives the bread has the power. It gives me great pain. I'm with my family. We are making beautiful magic. We are healing a tree cut down with great violence. The Magisters come. My family runs, but I fall. My son looks back. I shout, wait, before you go. I am not here without your help. I do not forget this. For you, a prize. I save it for a special occasion, but I can think of no finer occasion than this. Thank you. I know they help. I'll stab you right in the eye! You can't get me!
You cover your face with your hands. You've just heard the news. The elven homelands have been destroyed by death fog. It was your order who did it. How can this be?
No one tells me there are so many children in this Fort Joy. Magisters I handle, but small ones. We do not have many in my tribe anymore. And in yours? I never know how lucky we are.
The young girl's eyes are covered, but she turns towards you when you approach. She smiles as though she recognizes you, though she couldn't have seen your face.
Ah, hello. I see you come a long way. I see you come here seeking a great adventure. Do you find it?
She laughs and looks around as though taking in the scenery, though her eyes are still covered.
Many people to meet, many stones to turn, and there is a great joy here, as though the walls and water themselves were made by many smiling gods. Even if we are here under unhappy circumstances, still I feel it. I see it before my eyes. It is not so bad. I know which days have bread and which days have none. I know more bread comes someday. It helps. Your life is not your own. Your life is for us all. I cannot say more. You see someday.
Her eyebrows shoot up.
There can be a way. Amiro knows. But he is gone. Do you see him? He knows how to leave. My protector, my friend, an elf like me, with a spirit bright as new leaves. He tries to help me, to save me, and he suffers very much. He is caught by those who hurt him. I wish so much for his return. And he tells you what you seek, a way out. You bring me great peace. Thank you, my friend. I miss him very much. I see something that helps. I see a lizard. He is a lizard of many dreams, of far feeling. You do not free Amiro without him. Yes, please ask.
Leave him be. Don't make me say it again.
Listen, I can help you if you just...
Shut up, elf. This clown caught him stealing from my kitchen. Still won't say where he stashed my supplies. Sound like someone you'd let off with a slap on the wrist. Caught him red-handed trying to make off with a second crate after he took the first. Went down like a rent boy when we grabbed him. Easy. Supplies. Crate of food, citrus in particular. He'll talk, or he'll die quiet. Alls I want is my supplies. Happy to let this clown die in a gutter instead of my kitchen. Bring back my crate, and you got yourself a deal.
I think this was the crate I was after. Looks like someone's made off with most of the contents, though.
Griff glances from his blade to you and back again. Griff tears into one of the oranges with both hands. Juice squirts through his hands as he desperately rips through the rind.
Looks like everything's accounted for. Now the important question. Who's the thief?
He raises an eyebrow.
Looks like someone did my job for me. Your guy's free to go. He should be fine. Eventually.
An elf, caked in mud and blood, looks up at you from the bottom of the cage. He holds his shoulder at a strange angle. Despite his condition, he appears eager for your attention.
You believe what he says? That I am a thief?
He perks up and wipes his face with his good hand.
Sahela, you speak to her? She is all right then. Good. She sees my trouble, of course. She already knows. And she knows I help you out of here in exchange. It is all prepared. It is ready. I am too weak to go. But I must care for Sahela. You release me, and I show you the way out. I am grateful. Your freedom for mine. A good deal. Thank you. I hold my end of the bargain. I show you the way out. But I have something more to ask of you. Yes, I become fine. And so much more when you agree to finish what I start. Sahela, she is everything. A ruler, a seer, a knower, a child. She cannot. It is for all our people. For the world. Give me your map. I show you the way out. A secret. Dangerous. But it leads to freedom.
I give you this amulet. You must pass it to the elves who still remain. Tell them Sahela is here. They will send help. Please. She is important.
I go to her. I wish you good luck, and I thank you for us all.
Yourself to the grave.
What's this? I found something. I need a shovel.
One must put in due effort if one is to reap the proper reward.
Do you hear that? Something's up ahead.
You there, whatever you are. Did Brackers send you? Is he ready to apologize? Silence! I won't have the grovelling of that whelp Brackus delivered by some half-wit servant. Only when he prostrates himself before me will I even begin to consider the notion of forgiving him.
The slug's features crease into a look of what might be suspicion.
You seem in an awful hurry to leave. An awful hurry. You know what that makes you seem like to me? A spy. Perhaps you're not a spy, then? But there's something off about you. If you're truly a servant of Brackus, then you should know in which hand he wields his axe. Left or right? Ah, indeed it is. For Brackus's axe is two-handed, of course. Clearly, you are who you claim. Take this message to Brackus. Tell him I'm still awaiting his apology, and my patience is wearing thin. Now go. I suppose the small folk of Rivellon ought to know my tale. All was well after my engagement to Brackus for a time, but then he started to pay less attention to me. He had mind only to play around with his blasted sauce follies. I gave him a good tongue-lashing about it in front of the whole court. But, well, it didn't have the desired result. He transmogrified me and all my servants into the beasts you see before you. I will not yield, though. I remain royalty, right to my very core.
All right, I just... They do terrible things here. If they think for a second I'm trying to escape again, they'll do to me what they did to him. Not seen, heard. There's a man over there. They tortured him, questioned him. Seekers, something about Godwoken. He didn't know anything, but they didn't care. I heard his screams. I heard something eating him from the inside. No. It can't happen to me. It can't. Outside, the bones are gnashing. In here, the magisters are cutting, slicing, grinding, smashing. What to do? What to do? Poor thing. Poor fool. I hope it's an easy death then.
Oh, hi! Oh, you! Oh, hi! Are you here for the pointy lock undoer? This place? Well, the fleas seem very happy, at the very least.
Got a good reason for barging into a private room, buddy. And? Got no reason to scramble out, me. It's hot and busy out there. It's cool and quiet in here. Or at least, it used to be. Ow? You must be mad. Head out one way, you're back in the joy among the rabble. Head out another, you're knee-deep in the hollow marshes. I'll take a nice, quiet cell any day of the week, and twice on Lucian's Day. Before you go, you haven't met a particular feller here, have you? Tall, black beards, intense way of looking at you. Penchant for metaphor? Good. Good. Old Zillick much prefers lounging in the hole than chasing demons in the... Anyhow.
The elf's skin is pale as a corpse's, but his face contorts with inscrutable emotion. Joy, horror, and rapture flash over him like the changing surface of a pond. His eyes lock onto yours.
It's you! No, no, it's you. It's...
His back suddenly arches as he spasms in pain.
Oh! I know it's you. You're like me, see? I'm not the last. The bishop doesn't count. No, he doesn't count. I'm done for, but you, there's still hope. You'll know. They'll find you. They'll seek you out. That's their job.
Get it? Yes, yes, of course you do. You need to go. Dallas, after she took me, she did something. My head. I feel like someone's rummaged their fingers through my skull. Get out while you can. Oh, love, I'm wrecked. Can't go. Couldn't move my feet. As likely to stab you in the neck as shake your hand.
He giggles coquettishly, then bellows like a bear.
Leave!
Sorcerer! What do you think you're doing, prowling around inside the fort? Or else what? Who you gonna call, Buck?
He looks you up and down.
Too bad there's not a bit of meat to you. Guess my hounds will have to be happy with the bones. Sorcerer! What do you think you're doing, prowling around it? Don't think so. You broke the rules by coming down here, buck. You know, why don't I...
I'll yield to none.
Take my own so easily.